It's beautiful to be back again on our show. I'm Rutendo Macherera, and with me today, I have a lady doing the most. She runs her own blog page, she runs her own YouTube page, and amongst all of these things, she's also an alumni of Bohai University. She studied international economics and trade, and she's none other than Ms Melody. Welcome, Melody.
Thank you very much for having me here.
So I don't know if you've heard, but us here at InThePink, we are so nosy. We like to know things. We want to reveal some secrets and stuff like that.
It's not
yeah. So I'm going to be asking you some random questions throughout the show, starting from now, right?
Okay. Do I have to be honest?
Very honest.
Okay, sure. Let's get it.
What personality trait has gotten you in the most trouble?
I can't really think of anything right now, but I think I'm not a quiet person, or neither do I talk too much, but I am more comfortable when I'm by myself. So and a lot of times people would think maybe she doesn't want to talk to us, or she thinks she's way better than everyone. So people have a lot of assumptions they have, or they had, some still do, about me and the kind of person I am. So I think that's the most trait that I have that people just don't get, and it has cost me probably a lot of friends and a lot of people.
Okay. And as we're coming to an end of our Women's History Month, right? Yes. I would like us to talk about, the difficulties that women face, the things that women go through just because of their gender, right? So I would like to know, is there anything else, like anything in your life that you have gone through and you knew, this happened just because I'm a woman, or they treated me differently because I'm a woman, they just did this because I'm a female? I would like to know, is there a situation like that in your life?
To be honest, I don't think I have faced something that is that to me directly, but probably I have seen it to relatives or friends or something like that. But the most thing that I can talk about is how society treats women and men not to be equal. We always say that yes, women and men, they're equal, but there are so much double standards when it comes to other areas and other things. Let's say, for example, when it comes to dating, right? Long time ago, even not long time ago, now if a woman or if a girl is getting in a relationship when she's not a virgin, and a guy is also not a virgin, it kind of brings the limelight on the girl, she's been doing this and doing that when she was younger and stuff like that. But they don't really focus on the guy directly. It's always on the woman. This is something that we do in our culture.
That's true.
So it's not something that has directly hit me, but I know that it's out there and it affects other women who are just like me.
Yeah, okay. So I want to know now, because what you do, it seems really easy, to the human eye, but I know it's very difficult. And as a woman who's running a blog page and a YouTube page, you're so constant with it, right? I would like to know, what advice would you give to a young lady who also wants to do the same, but then what she's facing is that people are so much against it, and so negative towards her doing all that stuff. What advice would you give to a person like that?
Okay, I think it's quite too early for me to be giving advice because I pretty much just started. My blog page, I started in January.
Yes.
But this is something I've been thinking about over the years. Even when I was still young, well, not very young, but I've always wanted to be an influence out there to someone, help someone do something. But above all, I love fashion. I love looking good. I like doing my own hair, things that I've taught myself when I came to China, because there's not much of people doing that.
That's true.
So what I would say is, to someone who is willing to do something, don't look at people. Don't listen to anybody. If it's something that drives you, if it's something that you want to do, if it's something that puts your soul on fire, do it. Do it. Don't stop. Don't even stop, because no matter if you do good or bad, people are going to talk. So it's either you listen to them and not do what you want, or you just do what you want and have them talk about what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I would say. It's not an easy thing to do, and to be constant and doing all that stuff, it's not easy. But I like it, so I'm not complaining.
Yeah. I like the fact that she said it's either you let them talk, like you listen to what they're saying, or you let them talk about what you're doing, which is actually good, because eventually you're going to do something very good, you know, and then people are going to start talking about what you're doing in a very positive way, and you'll be so surprised about it. So I like that.
Yeah,
really
and you know,
that.
one thing that I like about doing things like this is people will always get nosy.
Yeah.
They always want to see what you're doing.
Exactly.
So the more people who don't like you watch what you are doing, the more popular you're getting.
That's very true.
They might think that, okay, we're just checking in to see what she's doing, but they don't know that they're actually helping.
They're actually helping
So the
you.
good thing is to just support in a positive way someone. So I think...
Oh, there you have it, guys. So now, this one is one of the nosy questions too. As I mentioned earlier, that Melody is a Bohai University alumni, right? Yeah. I want to know, what were your craziest experiences as a lady in a school that is fully dominated by male population? I want to know, like, I want to know the stories.
Okay, I don't have so much of stories. Well, I kind of do, but to censor the show a little bit. Well, I'm just joking. But what I would say is, when I came to Bohai, right, we were only a few girls, especially in my class.
Yeah.
We were probably just 5 girls, and the rest were boys. So there's so much pressure going on because everyone wants to be with this kind of girl.
Yeah.
But what I can say is people didn't really know me initially because I went home a month after I got in China, and then I came back the second month. So it's like people were seeing me for the first time.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh,
there's a new girl.
Who is this girl? You know. But I had told myself that when I'm coming here, I'm coming solely for study.
Yes.
Because when I came here, it was way after my other peers had started university. So you find that in my class, I was probably in a very populated class with people who were younger than me, and that includes the boys as well. So there was not much of me going to be doing things because I don't know how I feel about being with a younger guy.
Yeah.
It's just not my thing. But yeah, I kind of friended a couple of people who were older, and it was a nice time.
It was a nice time.
Yeah, we still do talk with a lot of people that I went to school with, and I think it's a good thing. I don't have crazy stories. As you know, I was always in my room all the time. I don't know what I was doing in my room, but I was
we
always
see
in my
the
room.
project now. You can do hair, you can do a lot of stuff now.
Yes, I can do probably almost everything by myself, which is not a good thing because we always need people
to help out.
Exactly, when you're out there. So yeah, that's it about my Bohai thing.
So, you know, from the past few months, like I think it's from January, somewhere there, I've been hearing reports on social media and news sites about people about women getting raped. And in some parts of the countries, they even started doing like some challenges and some, you know, to bring out the awareness of these things. So I want to know that, what's your take on this? Like, do you think there's something that we can do as a society or as youths? There's something that we can do to change the situation?
I wish there was something we can do, but what I think is this all comes from individual people because it's a decision for a man to get out there or for a woman to get out there to rape someone. It's a decision that they make themselves. So when it comes to decisions, we can't change someone.
That's true.
That's what I think. So, but still there, I would like to believe that we still could do something. You know, it's a way, it's a very backward thing. Like when people used to say, oh, women get raped because they kind of dress like this and dress like that.
I've heard that, yeah.
That is not true. That is not true. You know, when I came to China, I always think about this like all the time. Back home, when you wear something that is very short, you can't even leave your own house.
Nope.
You know? Nope. But now when I came to a place like China where it gets very hot, the women here, they're always wearing something very short, and we also have adapted to that kind of culture. But I've never really heard of Chinese men raping their women because of their kind of clothes. So I think it's all in the mindset of the people.
That's true.
And probably we could do something, especially in Africa, our countries, to make sure that we change this kind of mentality. We can do something. Yes, we can raise awareness, but changing the thoughts of people is a difficult thing. Probably they are still working on how they can do that, but I personally don't think we can knock our ideas in everyone's head. It has been said all over again. It has been talked about for a long time, but they still do it. So I don't think there's much we can do other than just putting the awareness out there.
Actually, in the same light of that question, I was reading on BBC News, and it so happens that according to a certain British study, right, 8% of the rape cases are found to be false, right?
Yeah.
And which is very devastating to hear. But I want to know, like, what would you say, like, to these people who would take such a serious thing, right? And just to get back at somebody, maybe their ex or something like that, and claim to have been raped. What would you say, like, to those people? Because now they're making sure that when anybody says they are raped, they have to thoroughly check the story and stuff like that. And some people are actually telling the truth, you see. But because of these people that will be lying and stuff like that, what would you say to those people?
It's not a good thing. And these are just people who are taking advantage of the current situation. You know, so like you just said, it then brings the whole question to the authenticity of each and every single case that is brought forward about a rape case and stuff like that. So it's not good, because there are a lot of people out there who has really faced the real thing. And they're still trying to make sure that their case is out there to be heard. But because of such issues, it's a very small number. 8%, well, it's not very small. When we look at the digits, when you just say 8%, it seems like a very small number. But the real amount of people, that is a lot. So it's just people taking advantage. I don't think it's a nice thing. It's not even a good thing. But they will still do it because they just take advantage of the situation.
Yeah, that's true. And, you know, I actually heard that most people no longer report because they have to go through this process of verifying whether you're telling the truth, if you've been raped or not. And, you know, it's a very difficult situation to you, and somebody's asking you, so are you lying about it when you've gone through something already?
I would like to believe that, you know, I've never really met someone who has gone through that personally. But imagine if it was something that was very violent, you had to go through probably by yourself, and then now you had the courage to you had the courage to report it. This is what happened. This is what it's just like you're reliving the moment one more time. That's why we have a lot of people. We have a lot of women acting like they're crazy because of the things that they have gone through. So it's crazy.
It's crazy, So now we go back to the nosy part, huh?
It's okay.
What's the worst thing you ever did as a child? And what was your punishment?
Okay. I probably have done a lot of things when I was a child. But what I just remembered now is, I think I was in grade 6. I don't remember how old is that. I was in grade 6. And then there was one girl. She came from a very well-up family. And then one day she just brought, what do you call this? The earth globe. It was but it's a toy. The globe, the earth.
The globe.
And then so we were all surprised, like, oh my God, this is real. We were used to the fake ones. And then I don't know, when I hold it, it kind of slipped from my hands. And then it fell down. Then the thing got broken. Oh my God, I was so scared. So everyone in the class was like, you have to buy it. You have to buy it. I was so scared to even tell my mom. She'd be like, why were you touching people's things?
Exactly.
You know? So I kind of thought of a plan. I went home. During the weekend, I reached out to my dad's wallet. I took out a couple of dollars. And on Monday, when I went back to school, I returned her money. I was like, so this is the amount of money that I can give you for you to replace your toy. I don't know how much that was, but I remember that I took a lot of money from my dad's wallet. And then she was like, no, but this is not going to be enough. You still need to give me more money and stuff like that. I was scared. So I was like, okay, next week I'll still give you more money for you to buy your toy. And the next week I didn't do that. I was now scared that if my mom catches me, it's going to be so
Bed, yeah.
So what I did, actually, I didn't do anything about it that time. On a Sunday, we were all home. My mom was there and my dad was there. Suddenly, I saw a group of kids on our gate. It was about 20 or 25 children at our gate. Then my mom was like, what's the problem? Why are they all here? Were you supposed to be somewhere and you didn't go? I was like, no, I don't know. Then they were like, we want to see your mom. Oh my God, I just got so scared. So they all explained what happened. Then she was like, she gave me some money. Then my mom was like, where did you get the money from? I got beaten. I got heavily beaten. And from then, I never stole anything. I probably stole a couple of times again.
Yeah,
that was the main...
the big one.
Exactly. I was like, I would never steal again. So from there, I get scared of stealing people's things.
That's pretty nice. Okay. I want to know how you manage like consistency in your work, right? Because you post like regularly, and it's very, you engage with your people, you know, your audience. They feel like they are more involved because of the consistency. Yeah. So I would want to know, do you have like a calendar? Because seriously, it's not that easy to be so. It's not that easy. So, do you have a calendar, or do you have some reminders all the time that I have to do this? I have to do this.
Honestly, I kind of do have a calendar, but I don't pretty much use it. But what I use is my journal. I have maybe 5 journals that I have, which have different ideas. So once in a while, like during the day, probably 5 or 6 times, I check my books to see what I have to do the next day, if I have to shoot any more outfits, if I have to write something or post a video. So what I would advise to anyone who wants to be consistent is always write your things down. Always make sure that you have your bigger ideas before the day. So like now I do have an idea of what I will write like 2 months later, even though it's not a solid plan. It might change, but I have an idea of what I can do. So I think being consistent is very difficult because at times I'm just not in the mood of doing that. So once you have your things on the side, it's easy for those days when you don't feel like doing anything. You just have your backup plan and post it either way. And you need probably a friend or someone to help you out. I have someone who constantly reminds me, you have
to do this.
Exactly. So that is one more thing.
That's good. So you see, friends are important. You need someone to keep reminding you.
Or even a boyfriend.
Or even a boyfriend.
Or your mom.
Your boo. And your mom. So you need people around you to keep reminding you of what you need to do. So now I want to talk about this thing. Okay. I just saw it on social media and I thought it was very interesting, okay?
Let's hear it.
Have you heard of the term mansplaining?
No, I've never.
Mansplaining is like men and explaining, right?
I kind of get where you're going.
So it's like when a man explains to a woman something that they already know, and tries to simplify it, to make it seem like you don't understand. So you might be even in the same situation and someone else is talking, and then a man just decides to explain to you in particular because you're a woman. They just think they need to, I want to know, what's your take on that? Or have you ever experienced mansplaining?
This happens like every day. This happens every single day. At some point in time, it's not a bad thing because obviously, this is me personally. At times, it's not so offensive as compared to other times. But when someone keeps on doing that, and when it's a very simple thing and you have to make me seem like I'm dumb, then that becomes a problem. Let's say, for example, I'm not really so much into cameras and computer stuff. So when I talk to someone or when I talk to a guy about a camera, I want like the inner detail and not with all that jargon of the cameras. Also, if you get a DSLR, if you do this, no, I don't want to hear that. Tell me something that I can understand. That one, when it's mansplaining, it's perfect. But now when it comes to something simple that I know, I don't know if the guys know that
they do it.
Exactly. Or if it's something that is simple to me or not. But it is a problem, but not really so much of a problem. And it always depends how they say it, how much they say it. And
Because I have experienced that like a lot of times. Maybe it's because I'm also petite, so you know I look like a child. They need to explain to me like this is what's going on and stuff like that. But yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to a girl out there, a girl in Zimbabwe who really has a big dream and stuff like that, but they really don't know where they're going to start from or anything like that? What advice would you give?
All right. I think that is a bit difficult for me to say because we all have different circumstances in life. So probably there's someone out there who is wishing to do something or to be someone. You can still do it. It doesn't matter actually where you are, what you are about. When your destiny calls, no one can ever take it away from you. So just keep on doing whatever you're doing. If you feel like you can do more, and your time will come, then you can be the person that you want to be. That is for someone who is out there.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us today. It was such a great honor having you here.
Thank you for having me.
And before we close, please just tell our viewers how they can find you on social media.
Okay. You can get me on Instagram at JustBeingMelody. That is my blog page. And I have my personal account, Melody Madya Official, but that is a personal one. And you can also get me on my website to keep up with my blog, www.justbeingmelody.com, and also on my YouTube channel, Just Being Melody.
Thank you so much at Cat's Eye for giving us such a wonderful spot. Do make sure to visit it when you're close by Bohai University. Until next time. Like and comment on our video, and if you have any suggestions, feel free to leave them on the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe.